Welcome everyone, my name is Fist Truck, and today I will be bringing to you a video that is in the spirit of the Halloween season. So turn off the lights, sit back, relax, grab your hand lotion, and click that subscribe button. Compared to most every other area in the game, this one keeps the spaces really tight and confined. When you first show up, you keep hearing the chimes of bells, wondering where could that be coming from. Then as you get close to one of these Cthulhu head motherfuckers, BAM! You get boned. Aside from these guys being on the cheap side of difficulty, it is undeniable that getting closer and closer to the sounds of the bells may give some of us doo-doo diarrhea butt. Pushing onwards, when we reach the bottom floor, we are greeted by a monster whose features have become significantly more grotesque with this remaster. The Orb of Men, as we will call it. Look at this creature. Also, you can see this one face here, and its teeth are surprisingly clean. Now, I know some of you may first think about New Londo, or the Tomb of the Giants, and those are terrifying in their own right. But none of that compares to these cocksuckers. The depths, in general, have a dark, foreboding atmosphere, or at least that is what I'm currently saying to justify making this the scariest location in Dark Souls. Giant rat is spooky. I will now cut to the chase. You run into one of these big-eyed frogs and don't think much of it, but then you see some of them staring at you with ill intent. Then they decide to pull this shit on you. If you happen to be playing this whilst online, then you'll also be seeing these weird pointy statues all over the place. Well, while these big-eyed frogs may seem harmless at first, that all changes once they start spitting on you, and then you fucking die. These aren't just any normal bug-eyed frogs, these are curse frogs. And what they do to you in this game is possibly the most fucked up thing FromSoft has ever put in any of their games. Especially since there was a point in time where this lady didn't sell purging stones. Now every time I travel to this part of the depths, I have to fight every fiber of my being to not fill my pants with dump. This one is going to be short and to the point. Now, for once, I am presenting what I believe to be the objectively most terrifying part of the game. The Upper Cathedral Ward has it all. A dark, creepy atmosphere, disgustingly terrifying enemies, and even worse, god-awful shitty boss design. On one hand, we have some definite horror elements, and on the other hand, we have 4 werewolves jumping you at the same time. Make sure to avoid this area during your playthroughs, or else you'll be pissing out of your ass in fear or frustration. Let's get this out of the way real quick. Giant flies in the DLC can fuck right off. That shit is nasty and gives me the heebie-jeebies. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. Instead, I want you to go pick up this item right over... Yo, fuck! I really just wanted to point out the weakest jump scare in this game. Also, just saying, we all saw this shit coming. Also, shit your pants. If any of you are like me, you came up to the sign and thought, miss me with that bullshit. I'm not a pussy. Upon entering this cave, the fact that things go from sunny to practically pitch black is a bit concerning, and definitely a cause for concern. This lone figure in the distance slightly fills my heart with dread, but these hands are rated E for everyone. Upon attacking the man, it reveals itself to actually be headless, with the name to match. My attacks appear to do nothing but tickle its balls. I don't even have the time to defecate my britches before this monstrosity rips out my asshole. Lesson learned. Maybe I am a pussy, but for certain, I am scared. Look at this location. This shit is amazing. I love this. I love these kinds of underground temples or cities. So much mystery, so much to explore. Which brings us to the horror. Centipede men. Psych! The horror actually comes from how underutilized this area is. This is one of the smallest areas in the game, yet it looks so goddamn cool. This whole approach, seeing the centipede men worshipping something, I love this. Yet all that's here is some douchebag worm that jumps you near this doo-doo fall and a rod dagger. Lame, I tell you. Lame. So on to the part where I make the reasoning as to why Soulslike is horror, or at least that it can be what it wants to be. Now if we use survival horror as an example, obviously we can be spooked in the form of jump scares, weird body horror, or grotesque monstrosities. But I think the moment-to-moment gameplay evokes horror in the form of the survival aspect. You know, 2 zombies in front of you, but enough bullets to kill one, and they're both shambling towards you. What do we do? What do we do? For a lot of us, I think the most tense situations in Soulslikes come from choosing whether or not to push forward when you're low on resources. Or even better, when you push forward and realize you're in way over your head. One of the things I missed was when they would put these bullshit fog walls in your path, just to make you pause for a sec. Is there a boss on the other side of that wall? Or a shortcut? Who knows? Only one way to find out. Well, I know, after one playthrough, that whole thing kind of wears off, but still, those moments where you pulled up in front of a fog wall with no Estus, oh my goodness, that just makes my... Of course, there is an undeniable horror or unsettling nature when it comes to giant rats, frenzy babies, or centipede men, but these games, I feel, hit their sweet spot when you're in the middle of exploring and find yourself anxious yet curious when it comes to deciding whether or not you want to push forward. Thinking about it now, a part of me wants to make a video about exploration and how level design is the most important aspect of these games. But that's a different subject for a different time. Hopefully you made it to the end of this video without loading your underwear full of caca. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or don't, that's fine too. And until next time, I'm Fist Truck, and don't forget to always wipe before you shit. It is undeniable that getting closer and closer to the sounds of the bells may give some of us doo-doo diarrhea butt. when we